What was, I wonder, because obviously with your first song, Love Song, the label wanted you to write some love song, and I wonder, going into this process, what were they looking for, anything specific? I wonder how kind of the preliminary meetings, if there were any.
I'm trying to think back. I think we were all sort of on the same page that the music, we were set to go in the studio at the end of last year, and we were all on the same page that the music really wasn't there yet, and those were the shitty songs I was referring to. You know, it's like, yes, they're completed songs, but they don't mean anything to me, and I don't want to fill up a record with stuff that I don't care about. I won't do it. And so they were all actually really gracious in giving me more time, and but I did feel pressure. Like, everyone who had put out a record at the same time I had the first time around, which, like Colby Kelly and Ingrid Michaelson, they had already all put out their second records, and I wasn't even in the studio yet. And I, at that point was being like, oh my God, I'm like falling behind. And so there was pressure and anxiety, but ultimately I felt like I just couldn't rush it, because it was too precious of, a platform to be on to waste it.
Let's talk about the CD's title. Why did you decide that?
So I chose the title Kaleidoscope Heart because it's taken out of a lyric from that song Uncharted that I was talking about. So the bridge of the song says, "Jumpstart my kaleidoscope heart. Love to watch the colors fade." So that's sort of me talking about myself of like, all right, I need to kickstart whatever's going to happen is going to happen, but I need to get moving. And that song really, it opened up the floodgates so much for me that I named the record that, sort of as an homage to that song.
Now that you're on the second round of like writing songs, do you feel like you're able to be more personal with your songwriting? I feel like I was listening to Hold My Heart. It sounds like a really personal song.
It is a really personal song, but I don't feel like that's something I have ever had trouble with. I always felt like my music is very much the most intimate sort of view into who I am. I'm not someone who sort of masks things in that way. I'm really willing to be. I'm kind of hard on my sleeve person anyway, so I'm really willing to go there musically, and it's cathartic. It feels good to release that and give it flight, let it go, kind of.
When you had the time off in between releasing the last CD and working on this one, did you get to do a lot of, like, quote-unquote normal things that you didn't get a chance to do because you were touring so much and promoting the record?
Yeah, and that was the best part, was just, like, making coffee in the morning and going on a walk and going to yoga and I bought a house in California? In California, yeah, in LA. And I have this awesome backyard, and I have a lemon tree, and it's like picking lemons from my tree. It was all these really just sweet, simple things that I did miss terribly, being, in constant motion. And then I got, you get home now. It's funny when you start getting back on the road, and going home now feels a little bit like, there's not enough going on here. Like, a little more action.
I wonder, okay, so your first CD comes out, you get nominated for like Song of the Year at the Grammys, and then you go back home. Has dating been different? Because the last time you were there, obviously, you didn't have a Grammy nominated tune on the radio. No,
dating's been exactly the same for me. No, I've been in a relationship for 4 years, so nothing's changed for me, and we have a really great sort of mutual understanding, and I don't have any complaints.
Is he a musician?
He is a musician.
What about, I guess if you could pick, people got a couple months before they can listen to the CD, if you could pick one song for them to check out, what would that be and why?
If I could pick one song, I guess I would say Uncharted. It's such a focal point for me creatively, and really feels like sort of the theme of the record. So yeah, I think I would say Uncharted would be a great kind of first chapter.
Did you always want to be a singer growing up?
I think so. I mean, I don't know if I articulated that in my brain as a child, but I think I always felt like that was where I was the most confident and at peace, and felt like I was, in my calling. I think I always thought I would do theater, though, because I grew up doing musical theater. So I think I always sort of anticipated, like, being on Broadway or something.
Have you thought about doing it?
Oh, God, I would love it. I would love it, love it, love it, love it. I don't think I have mad respect for the performers on Broadway, and I would only want to do it if I could do an incredible job. I would never, ever want to just, step into a role, unless I could really have the chops to do it. So I think I would have some homework to do before I could step on stage.
Who are you currently listening to in your iPod?
Let's see. Who did I just buy recently? I'm listening to an old record, but it's a favorite of mine, and I keep coming back to it. It's Rhythm of the Saints by Paul Simon. And it was his follow-up record to Graceland. And I don't know, there's something about that record that I don't know, I love it. It just makes me just relax, and it's very inspiring.
There's so many dance-heavy songs on the radio now. They're like the whole electro-pop kind of Euro-flavored stuff. Had you ever think about doing a dance song?
I feel like, I'm not going to say never. I'll never say never. I've learned that the hard way, because you end up doing all sorts of things. But I will say, I feel like it would feel like wearing somebody else's underwear, because it's really not... It doesn't feel kind of congruent with who I really think I am musically. But you never know. There's great collaborations out there, and it doesn't... I think there would be a way to do it really musically in a way that felt good to me. But it's not immediately a genre that I've always loved or always wanted to do. It's a little bit of a stranger to me.
You should probably do a song with Santana. That would be good.
Me and Santana? Okay. Can you make that happen? Give him a call? Okay.
So you're doing the Lilith Fair, right? Mm-hmm. How is preparing for that?
Oh, it's been great. We've been in rehearsals, and I'm just excited. I'm always the only girl on tour. Like, we're always open for guy bands and, male artists, and my entire crew and band are men, and so it's going to be really nice to be around other female artists, and I'm really just curious to see energetically what that feels like. Mm-hmm. I'm thrilled to be there. I missed it the first time it came around, so I'm really looking forward to just sort of celebrating women in music and to do it in front of people.
You've been doing a great job writing songs for yourself. Have you thought about writing songs for other artists?
It's totally something I would consider. I think it would have to be the right situation and the right artist. I think if it was a song I had originally intended for myself, I would be probably very precious with who I sort of passed the torch to. But there's so many great artists out there that I think would be awesome. So,
what would you say has been the biggest growth you've seen in yourself since your first CD came out to where you are now?
I'd like to say that the biggest growth would be maybe my level of confidence, but that's kind of a lie, because I still totally am insecure sometimes. But I'm more willing to try new things. I'm much more open-minded, and I have a lot less fear about moving through new situations, which I'm really grateful for, because fear is a heavy load to carry around too. So, I think I'm a little braver than I was.
So you'd say being in the music industry has built your confidence in a way?
Yeah, which is kind of random, right?
People down.
It's been, it was a great opportunity for me to sort of look inside myself because it could go two ways. You open yourself up to a lot of criticism and a lot of feedback that is unsolicited and unwanted. But I think at the same time you you get to decide how you process that, how you choose to move forward. Do I want to be someone who's scared of everybody and wants to make everybody like me? Yes. But I'm not going to show it.
A lot of your fans are watching now. If you want to speak to them for a second, you can.
Hello to all my sweet fans out there. I just want to say that I'm so grateful to all of your support. It feels undying, and it makes such a big difference in what I do, and all of what I do is for you. So thank you for listening.
Thank you.
Thank you.